Alison, is it important to get to the root cause of why Russia invaded Ukraine? Or do you think that perhaps maybe a stage that the world has already gone past?
Myself, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. First of all, there will always be different arguments. Russia will say one thing, Ukraine will say another thing. So are we going to come to some global understanding? It's hard to say. I was there at the 2008 conference in Bucharest, NATO conference, in which Ukraine was invited. Nothing. It was a pretext that Russia invaded Ukraine because it was become a member of NATO, because it was invited in 2008, but there were no moves towards NATO, Ukraine actually becoming a member. There was no like in 2 months' time, this is going to happen in a year's coming. It was just something that was laid on the table. So that was a complete pretext. I remember speaking to people who had spoken to members of Donald Trump's administration before he was elected, who were convinced that what Putin was saying was because Ukraine was about to become a member of NATO. That's why, and you know, NATO had no right to be in that area of the woods. That's why they're invaded. But it isn't at all true. I mean, basically, Putin wants to expand. He wants the old Soviet Union back as it was. Mikhail Gorbachev, which my distinguished colleague mentioned before, is absolutely detested by Vladimir Putin. He is seen as a complete enemy. People in the West liked him, Margaret Thatcher liked him, Ronald Reagan liked him, but he's absolutely detested because of the breakup of the Soviet Union, which was obviously happened for economic and political reasons. I mean, that is clear. It happened also in the wake, obviously, of the anti-communist revolutions in Eastern Europe, or the collapse of the communist regimes. We had a revolution here in Romania. But so the root cause, as far as I can see, is just that Putin just wants to expand his empire, and he considers parts of Ukraine rightfully his. And it's been a lot harder. He thought it'd be a war that was, well, it was a special military operation, but I mean, who believes that? He thought it was a war that was going to be over in 3 days, and of course that didn't happen. And it's going on and on. So, you know, Russia has ramped up its hybrid war in Europe, and in Romania, we're targets. Our elections were, Russian meddled in the elections, and they're very good at it. And they almost pulled it off. They almost got their candidate to win. But Romanian intelligence, Western intelligence, then cancelled the elections, and that was also problematic for political reasons, because you just don't cancel elections in a democratic and EU NATO country. But we then had elections which were democratically run, and there was a clear winner, so things have calmed down in Romania. But the idea that Putin invaded Ukraine because it was about to become a member of NATO is I'm sorry, it's just nonsense. And anyone who believes that, I'm sorry, is just very naive.
Okay, it's pretty naive. I appreciate your response, Alison, on that. Let me also, in fact, ask Professor Popovsky the same question.